The title sounds mythical, the warrior queen who founded England's royal destiny, but every word of it is true. The thumbnail you saw, the warrior queen founded England's royal destiny, isn't a legend dressed in gold. It's the story of a woman whose fire still burns beneath England's crown. Her name was whispered only in fear, Boudica. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of history's most powerful and forgotten figures. Long before Elizabeth's reign or Diana's heartbreak, before crowns and cameras, there was Boudica, a queen of iron, not jewels. She led not with ceremony, but with fury. And her rebellion wasn't born in comfort, but in pain. They took her home. Her daughters, her pride. And from those ashes, she rose. You see, history likes its queens gentle, composed, smiling, silent. But Boudica was everything they weren't ready for. So they buried her story, afraid of what it meant, that a woman could defy an empire and nearly win. But have you ever felt that sting yourself? Standing tall for what's right, only to be told to stay small? That's the wound that started her war. The Romans thought they'd broken her. They were wrong, because her revenge would shake an empire. Boudica's rebellion wasn't just a battle. It was a message written in fire and blood, a declaration that no queen, no matter how history tried to silence her, could be ignored. She gathered tribes, mothers, warriors, women who knew what it meant to fight for family, for honor, for survival, and together they tore through Roman towns, striking fear into the hearts of an empire that believed it ruled without question. Imagine the courage it took to stand at the front, knowing that every sword raised against you could mean death, yet refusing to bow. And yet, that courage echoes through the ages. Elizabeth I inherited a kingdom forged by defiance. Victoria ruled with a sense of duty learned from queens who refused to be erased. Diana captivated the world by daring to be herself despite palace expectations. Boudica's rage, her unbroken spirit, became the hidden foundation upon which every royal woman after her walked. A reminder that strength, once awakened, refuses to die quietly. And now when we think of queens, when we admire them or mourn them, we are unknowingly tracing the path she carved, the rebellion she dared, the empire she shook. And the question lingers, if she could rise from ashes that should have destroyed her, what fire burns quietly within each of us, waiting for the world to notice? Yet the most haunting part of Boudica's story is how history tried to erase her, how the Romans painted her as wild, reckless, unfit to lead, trying to strip away the courage that shook an empire, hoping the world would forget that a woman had dared to challenge the greatest power of her time. But the truth cannot be silenced. Modern historians see her not as a footnote, but as the spark that ignited England's royal destiny, the first queen to teach that defiance, strength, and love for one's people could reshape a nation. Every queen who followed, Elizabeth, Victoria, Diana, carried fragments of her spirit, some knowingly, some unknowingly, all walking a path Boudica blazed centuries before. And yet, her final fate remains a mystery, lost to the ashes of her rebellion, leaving us to wonder, did she vanish into defeat? Or did she survive long enough to see the seeds of her defiance take root in England's heart? Because every crown, every palace, every whispered story of a queen's power, it all began with her. And the fire she lit still burns quietly beneath the surface. So the next time we admire a queen, remember Boudica, the warrior who dared, the queen who rose, the woman whose revenge once shook an empire, and whose shadow still lingers over every royal destiny that came after her.